We live in a world of self-imposed ceilings. These ceilings tell us you can only go this far. You're not good enough. You're not smart enough. It's like walking through life with an invisible chain around your ankle, pulling you back every time you try to move forward. But what if I told you that those limits, those beliefs about what you can or cannot do are not real? They're stories, mental constructs you've been taught to accept, often without questioning them. Think back to when you were a child. You didn't see boundaries. You didn't think, I can't do this. You were curious, fearless, and full of possibility. Somewhere along the way, though, the world started telling you no. It told you to play it safe, to follow the rules, to color inside the lines, and bit by bit, those limits started to settle into your mind like concrete hardening around your potential. But let me ask you who decided where your limits are. Was it your parents, your teachers, society? Or was it you listening to the voices of doubt and fear? Because the truth is, every limit you think you have is negotiable. Every single one. What you believe is your ceiling might just be someone else's starting point. The only thing standing between you and your next level is your mindset. The way you think about yourself, your abilities, and your potential determines how far you can go. Most people stop at the first sign of resistance. They hit a wall, and instead of finding a way over, under, or around it, they convince themselves that the wall is permanent. But here's the reality: the wall is an illusion. It's a reflection of your own fears, not an actual barrier. Think of the great innovators, athletes, and leaders throughout history. Do you think they didn't face limits? Of course they did. But what set them apart was their refusal to accept those limits as final. They challenged the status quo. They looked at their circumstances and said, this is not where my story ends. They took risks, failed countless times, and kept going until they broke through. Breaking through your limits isn't about brute force, it's about strategy. It's about self-awareness, knowing where your limiting beliefs come from and systematically dismantling them. It's about asking yourself the tough questions. Why do I believe I can't do this? Who says I'm not capable, and most importantly, what's the worst that could happen if I try? The biggest limits often come from within, not from the outside world. It's the voice in your head that says, I'm too old, I don't have the resources, or what if I fail? That voice is not your truth, it's your fear. And fear thrives in the absence of action. The moment you start taking even small steps toward your goals, the voice of fear starts to fade and your confidence grows. This process isn't easy, it's uncomfortable. It's messy. You will doubt yourself, and there will be days when quitting feels like the easier option. But every time you push past that discomfort, you're expanding your capacity. You're proving to yourself that you are capable of more than you thought possible. And with every breakthrough, the limits you once saw as unbreakable start to disappear. Let's talk about failure for a moment, because this is where most people give up. Failure is not the end, it's part of the process. It's feedback. It's the universe's way of asking, how badly do you want this? The people who succeed are the ones who get up one more time than they fall. They understand that every setback is a setup for a comeback, and every obstacle is an opportunity to grow stronger. When you stop accepting limits, you start creating breakthroughs. You start living in a state of possibility, not restriction. You stop asking, can I do this? And start asking, how can I do this? You realize that your potential is not fixed, it's fluid. It grows with every challenge you face and every limit you shatter. The only question is, are you ready to challenge your limits? Your focus is your superpower. In a world filled with distractions, it is the one thing that separates those who achieve extraordinary results from those who remain stuck in mediocrity. Where your attention goes, your energy flows. But the question is, where is your attention going right now? Is it locked onto your goals, or is it scattered across 1,000 meaningless tasks? Focus is the ability to direct all your energy toward a single objective, shutting out everything that doesn't serve that purpose. But it's not something that comes naturally in today's world. We are bombarded every second with emails, notifications, social media, endless streams of content, all screaming for our attention. Every distraction is a thief, stealing time, energy, and opportunities. And here's the thing, most people don't even realize they're being robbed. Think about the last 24 hours. How much of your time was spent doing something truly meaningful? How much was spent scrolling through a phone, jumping from one task to another without finishing anything, or procrastinating on the things that really matter? The truth is, most people aren't focused because they haven't decided what they truly want. They haven't made their goals clear, and without clarity, focus becomes impossible. When you master focus, everything changes. You start to see opportunities where others see obstacles. You become more efficient, more creative, and more powerful. It's not that you'll have more time than others, you'll just use your time better. Successful people don't have more hours in the day, they just focus on what matters most and ignore the rest. But here's the thing about focus, it requires discipline. It's not something you wake up with, it's something you cultivate. It starts with a decision to take control of your attention. To say no to the distractions that don't align with your goals and yes to the actions that move you forward. That's not easy. Distractions are seductive. They offer instant gratification, while focus demands patience and persistence. There's a reason why so many people struggle with focus. It's because it requires saying no. No to the unnecessary meetings. No to the endless scrolling. No to the people who drain your energy without giving anything in return. Saying no feels uncomfortable, but it's the only way to create space for what truly matters. Every time you say no to something that doesn't serve your vision, you're saying yes to your dreams. Focus isn't just about doing, it's also about being. It's about being present in the moment, fully engaged with the task at hand. Too many people are physically present but mentally somewhere else. They're working on one thing but thinking about another. And as a result, they do neither well. When you're focused, you're not just efficient, you're effective. You bring your best self to everything you do. And that level of commitment produces extraordinary results. One of the biggest challenges to focus is multitasking. We've been taught that doing multiple things at once is a sign of productivity, but it's not. Multitasking is a myth. The human brain isn't designed to focus on more than one thing at a time. When you try to multitask, you're not being more productive, you're just doing multiple things poorly. To master focus, you have to let go of multitasking and embrace single tasking. Choose one thing, give it your full attention, and see it through to completion. Another critical aspect of focus is managing your environment. Your surroundings have a direct impact on your ability to concentrate. If you're trying to work in a chaotic space surrounded by noise and distractions, your focus will suffer. Create an environment that supports your goals. Eliminate distractions, set boundaries, and design a space that inspires you to do your best work. But focus isn't just about removing distractions, it's also about managing your energy. You can't focus if you're constantly exhausted or overwhelmed. That's why it's essential to take care of your body and mind. Eat well, exercise, get enough sleep, and make time for rest and reflection. When your energy is high, your focus becomes sharper, and your productivity skyrockets. Finally, focus requires a clear sense of purpose. You have to know why you're doing what you're doing. Without a compelling reason, it's easy to lose motivation and get distracted. But when you're driven by a powerful why, your focus becomes unshakable. You stop being pulled in 100 different directions and start moving with intention. Your purpose becomes your compass, guiding every decision and every action. Pain is a universal experience. Everyone at some point will face it: physical pain, emotional pain, the pain of loss, failure, or rejection. It's an inevitable part of life, but what makes the difference is how we respond to it. Pain can either break you or build you. It can paralyze you or propel you forward. The choice lies in how you perceive it and what you decide to do with it. Pain has a way of bringing you face to face with your limitations. It strips away the distractions and forces you to confront your reality. But here's the thing about pain: it's not just a signal that something is wrong, it's also a signal that something needs to change. Pain is your teacher, your guide, and when harnessed correctly, your greatest source of strength. Most people run from pain. They try to numb it, ignore it, or bury it under layers of denial. But running from pain doesn't make it go away, it just delays the lesson it's trying to teach you. Pain is persistent. It will keep knocking at your door until you acknowledge it, learn from it, and use it to grow. When you stop running from pain and start leaning into it, you discover its transformative power. Pain has a way of sharpening your focus and revealing what truly matters. It cuts through the noise and distractions, forcing you to prioritize and take action. When you embrace pain instead of resisting it, you turn it into a tool for growth, resilience, and transformation. Think about the greatest challenges you've faced in your life. The moments that brought you to your knees, made you question everything, and pushed you to the brink. Those moments weren't just struggles, they were opportunities. Opportunities to rise above your circumstances, to discover your strength, and to become someone you didn't know you could be. Every scar tells a story of survival, and every wound is proof of your resilience. Pain also has a way of igniting a fire within you. When you've experienced deep pain, you develop a level of determination and grit that nothing else can create. It's the kind of resolve that says, I've been through worse than this, I can handle anything. Pain pushes you to your limits, and in doing so, it expands those limits. It shows you that you're capable of more than you ever imagined. But turning pain into power doesn't happen automatically. It requires a conscious decision to shift your perspective. Instead of asking, why is this happening to me, start asking, what is this teaching me? Instead of seeing pain as a punishment, see it as preparation. Preparation for the challenges ahead, for the person you're becoming, and for the mission you're meant to fulfill. Another way to transform pain into power is to use it as fuel. Pain can be a powerful motivator when you channel it toward a purpose. When you've experienced pain, you have a deeper understanding of what others are going through. You can use that understanding to connect, to inspire, and to make a difference. Some of the most impactful leaders, artists, and innovators turned their pain into something meaningful. They took their struggles and turned them into stories of hope and triumph. Pain also teaches you gratitude. It's in the darkest moments that you learn to appreciate the light. It's in the struggles that you learn to value your victories. Pain reminds you of what you've been through and how far you've come. It grounds you, humbles you, and keeps you connected to the essence of what it means to be human. To turn pain into power, you have to embrace the process. Growth isn't linear and transformation isn't instant. There will be days when the pain feels overwhelming, when progress seems impossible, and when giving up feels like the only option. But it's in those moments that you build your resilience. Every step forward, no matter how small, is proof that you're stronger than the pain. Every lesson learned, no matter how difficult, is a step closer to becoming who you're meant to be. Pain doesn't define you, how you respond to it does. It's not what happens to you, it's what you choose to do with it. Pain is inevitable, but suffering is optional. When you take ownership of your pain, when you decide to use it as a stepping stone instead of a stumbling block, you unlock a level of power that can't be taken away. Leadership is not about titles, positions, or authority. It's not about where you work or the role you play in a team. Leadership is about influence, and influence begins within. To lead others, you first must lead yourself. And here's the truth: inside every single one of us, there is a leader waiting to be unleashed. The problem is, most people don't realize this. They've bought into the idea that leadership is reserved for a select few, the CEO, the manager, the president. But leadership isn't something you're born with, it's something you decide to step into. It's a choice to rise above your circumstances, take responsibility for your life, and inspire others to do the same. And the first step to unleashing the leader within you is to believe that you are capable of leading. Leadership begins with vision. A leader sees possibilities where others see limitations. A leader has the courage to dream big, even when the odds are stacked against them. But having a vision isn't enough. You must be willing to act on it, to take risks, and to move forward even when the path is unclear. Leaders don't wait for permission or perfect conditions. They create opportunities and make things happen. But leadership isn't just about big, bold moves. It's also about consistency. It's about showing up every single day with integrity, purpose, and a commitment to excellence. Great leaders understand that their actions speak louder than their words. They don't just talk about their values, they live them. They set the standard for those around them by holding themselves to the highest standard first. To unleash the leader within you, you must also develop emotional intelligence. Leadership is not just about making decisions or solving problems, it's about connecting with people. A true leader understands that people are not robots, they are human beings with emotions, dreams, and challenges. They listen, empathize, and build relationships based on trust and respect. They inspire others by meeting them where they are and helping them see what they are capable of becoming. Great leaders are not afraid to take responsibility. When things go wrong, they don't point fingers or make excuses. They own their mistakes and use them as opportunities to grow. This kind of accountability builds credibility, and earns the respect of those around you. People don't follow leaders because they're perfect, they follow them because they're authentic. Unleashing the leader within you also means embracing vulnerability. Leadership is not about pretending to have all the answers or hiding your struggles. It's about being real, admitting when you don't know something, and being open to learning. Vulnerability doesn't make you weak, it makes you relatable. It creates a space for others to be honest and authentic, which strengthens the bonds within a team or community. A true leader is also a servant. They don't see leadership as a way to gain power or control, they see it as an opportunity to serve others. They understand that their role is not to be above others, but to lift others up. This kind of leadership requires humility, compassion, and a deep commitment to making a positive impact. When you focus on serving others, you inspire loyalty, trust, and a shared sense of purpose. Leadership also requires courage. It's not easy to stand up and take charge, especially in the face of uncertainty, criticism, or opposition. But a true leader is willing to step into the arena, even when the risks are high. They make tough decisions, take bold actions, and stay the course when others might back down. This courage is what separates leaders from followers. It's what turns vision into reality. To become the leader you're meant to be, you must also commit to continuous growth. Leadership is not a destination, it's a journey. Great leaders are always learning, evolving, and seeking ways to improve. They invest in their personal development, seek out mentors, and surround themselves with people who challenge and inspire them. They understand that the moment they stop growing, they stop leading. Finally, leadership is about impact. It's about leaving the world better than you found it. A true leader doesn't measure success by their achievements alone, but by the lives they've touched and the difference they've made. When you step into your leadership potential, you create a ripple effect. You inspire others to rise, to lead, and to create change in their own lives and communities. Leadership is not something you wait for, it's something you claim. It's not about being the loudest voice in the room or the one with all the answers. It's about being the one who takes action, who lifts others up, and who turns vision into reality. The leader within you is already there. It's time to unleash it. Success, it's a word that carries weight, ambition, and aspiration. But what does it really mean? For some, it's the accumulation of wealth or power. For others, it's achieving fame or recognition. But the truth is, success is deeply personal. What it looks like, how it feels, and how it's achieved varies from person to person to person, yet there's a common thread, a secret that ties all true success together. And understanding this secret can transform your life. True success doesn't start with what you achieve on the outside, it begins with who you are on the inside. It's not about checking off boxes or accumulating things, it's about alignment. Alignment with your values, your purpose, and the unique gifts you bring to the world. Too many people chase society's definition of success only to find themselves feeling empty or unfulfilled when they achieve it. Why? Because they were pursuing someone else's dream, not their own. The secret to true success is authenticity. It's being unapologetically true to yourself and your vision. It's about discovering what lights you up, what drives you, and what you're willing to fight for. When your actions are in alignment with your core values, success becomes inevitable. You're no longer chasing it, it's chasing you. Another key to true success is resilience. No one achieves greatness without setbacks, failures, and challenges. Success is not a straight line, it's a journey of ups and downs. The question is not whether you'll face obstacles, it's how you'll respond to them. True success requires the ability to persevere, to adapt, and to rise again when you fall. Every failure carries a lesson, and every challenge is an opportunity for growth. It's not about avoiding the hard times, it's about using them as stepping stones to something greater. True success also demands clarity. You can't achieve what you don't define. Too many people drift through life without a clear vision of what they want or why they want it. They follow the crowd, hoping to stumble upon happiness or fulfillment. But true success isn't found by accident, it's created with intention. It begins with asking yourself the tough questions. What do I really want? Why does it matter? What am I willing to sacrifice to achieve it? Clarity gives you direction, and direction gives you power. Another part of the secret to success is consistency. Talent and potential are meaningless without action. Success doesn't come from what you do occasionally, it comes from what you do consistently. It's the daily habits, the small choices, and the relentless commitment to your goals that build momentum. True success is not about grand gestures, it's about showing up every day, putting in the work, and staying disciplined even when it's hard. Success also requires a growth mindset. It's about seeing every experience as an opportunity to learn, to improve, and to expand your horizons. True success is never static, it's a continuous process of becoming. It's about pushing past your limits, embracing challenges, and striving for excellence in everything you do. The moment you stop growing, you stop succeeding. And then there's passion. Passion is the fuel that drives true success. It's what keeps you going when the road gets tough, when the nights get long, and when doubt creeps in. Passion is what makes the journey worth it. Without it, success feels hollow. But with it, even the smallest victories feel like triumphs. True success is also about balance. It's not just about achieving your professional goals, it's about thriving in every area of your life. It's about nurturing your relationships, taking care of your health, and finding joy in the present moment. True success is holistic. It doesn't require you to sacrifice your well-being or your happiness for the sake of achievement. It's about creating a life that feels as good as it looks. Finally, true success requires gratitude. It's about appreciating where you are, even as you strive for more. Gratitude shifts your focus from what's missing to what's present. It keeps you grounded, humble, and connected to the journey. When you approach success with gratitude, you realize that every step, every challenge, and every milestone is a gift. Change is one of the most difficult, yet most powerful forces in life. It's inevitable, unstoppable, and often uncomfortable. But while change happens to everyone, transformation happens only to those who choose it. And choosing it takes courage, unshakable, undeniable courage. Because changing everything, whether it's your circumstances, your mindset, your habits, or your entire life, requires you to face fear, uncertainty, and the unknown head-on. The courage to change everything begins with a decision to no longer accept less than what you deserve, to no longer settle for mediocrity, and to no longer allow fear to hold you back. Most people resist change because it's easier to stay where they are, even when they're unhappy or unfulfilled. They choose comfort over growth, security over possibility, and familiarity over freedom. But here's the truth: real change doesn't come from a place of comfort. It comes from the willingness to step into discomfort, to embrace uncertainty, and to trust that the reward will be worth the risk. To change everything, you must first be honest with yourself. You must take a hard look at your life and ask, what isn't working? What needs to change? What am I pretending not to know? This level of honesty is not easy. It requires vulnerability and self-awareness. But without it, you'll stay stuck, repeating the same patterns and wondering why nothing improves. The courage to change everything starts with admitting where you are and accepting responsibility for where you want to go. Once you've acknowledged the need for change, the next step is to let go of what no longer serves you. This might mean letting go of toxic relationships, outdated beliefs, bad habits, or even a version of yourself that no longer aligns with who you want to become. Letting go is hard because it forces you to confront loss. But what you gain in return is freedom to create something new, something better, something that reflects your true potential. Change also requires a willingness to face fear. Fear is the single greatest barrier to transformation. It whispers in your ear, telling you that it's too hard, too risky, or too late. It convinces you to stay in the safety of what you know, even if it's keeping you small. But fear is not your enemy. It's a signal that you're about to do something significant. The key is to feel the fear and do it anyway. Courage is not the absence of fear. It's the ability to take action in spite of it. To change everything, you also need a vision, a compelling vision of what your life could be. Change is hard, but it becomes easier when you're driven by a clear sense of purpose. What do you want? What does success look like for you? What kind of person do you want to become? When your vision is clear, it becomes your guiding light, pulling you forward even when the path feels difficult or uncertain. But vision alone is not enough. Change demands action, consistent, deliberate, and sometimes uncomfortable action. It's not about taking one big leap, it's about taking step after step, even when progress feels slow. It's about building momentum, staying committed, and refusing to give up when challenges arise. Change is not a one-time event, it's a process. And that process requires discipline, patience, and perseverance. Another essential part of change is surrounding yourself with the right people. You cannot change everything if you're surrounded by those who are content with nothing. Seek out those who inspire you, challenge you, and hold you accountable. Build a support system that lifts you up and reminds you of your potential when you doubt yourself. The people you surround yourself with will either propel you forward or hold you back. Choose wisely. Change also requires self-compassion. It's easy to be hard on yourself when things don't go as planned or when progress feels slow. But true courage comes from understanding that growth takes time and that you're allowed to be imperfect. Celebrate your wins, no matter how small, and forgive yourself for your mistakes. Treat yourself with the same kindness and encouragement you would offer a friend. Finally, the courage to change everything comes from trusting the process. Change is not linear, and it's rarely predictable. There will be moments of doubt, frustration, and even despair. But if you stay the course, if you keep showing up and doing the work, you will reach the other side. And when you do, you realize that the courage to change everything was always within you. You just had to choose it.